The Broken Agenda Podcast. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
They can't do that. They have to come out of their cell. They can't refuse to come out. So he's like, we got to go in and get them. He's like, but they'll be in there. Usually they're hopped up on drugs and they're like raging out in their cell. And sometimes there's a cellmate in there and sometimes bad things are happening. He's like, or sometimes they just have a weapon and they're just like going to hurt themselves or others or whatever. And he told me this is like his favorite thing to do. He's like, because there's like 10 of them and they open the door and they all rush in with shields and batons and they overwhelm the guy immediately. He's like, I love it. He's like, that's my favorite thing to do. He's like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, no. I was like, there is not. I'm a tech guy. I was like, there's not a single thing in my life that equates to that situation.
What's an adrenaline rush? I'm sure.
And that's exactly what it is. Yeah, it's an adrenaline rush. But I think in a lot of ways too, it's taken back power. Like, I mean, they constantly are in a tug of war with these guys over who's in charge. Because yeah, they're the guards, but they're not really always in charge.
Right.
He said the biggest threat the prisons have right now? Drones.
Yep.
Drone.
Yeah, he's like, it's a nightmare. He's like, they'll have people on the outside just fly a cheap ass $40 drone over the wall, drop drugs.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even try to get the drone back sometimes. They just fly it over and drop it. They'll have people fly drones over the field and look for ways to escape and then report back to them. All sorts of stuff. They'll drop weapons because the drones have gotten so good. They can fly a loaded gun over and drop it in the yard.
Damn.
He's like, it's really, he's like, we're trying to control our airspace, but we don't have a budget for airspace control.
Imagine if you just dropped like 40 machine guns into the yard.
That would solve your prison population problem.
Yeah,
I mean, like Hunger Games. Like, is that what you're doing?
I don't know. I'm just imagining if somebody did that.
What is her name? Abnis Keggerdeen or
something like that.
Yeah, whatever. It's not Keggerdeen. It should be Keggerdeen now that I say it. The
Katniss.
40th annual Hunger Games
Yeah.
of Connecticut. And then drop them. I do not sign off on that, but it would be interesting. Give them paintball guns.
That would be crazy.
Yeah.
Imagine you're a guard and you see them coming. Oh. That'd be chaos.
That would be chaos. That would be absolute chaos. So, but I don't know. From what I can tell, the prisons
Hopefully
are
no one
already
gets the idea
chaos.
from watching this podcast.
Way to go, Jimmy. You're going to break America. All right. So we ended last show. I don't even know. Are we recording? Yeah, we're recording.
Should be.
We ended last show talking about CISA, the cybersecurity division of the Homeland Defense. And Jimmy, what were we talking about before we cut away? We were going to get into some of your
We were
some of
talking
your
about
research topics, right?
the mock scenarios for the.
Oh yeah, that's right. Thank you. So we were talking about CISA and Jimmy. You want to take it over? One of the cool thing about one of the things they're doing.
Let's see. Here we go.
Nice.
All right.
So for those of you that aren't watching, Jimmy's running the board. So nothing will change for you. But those of you that are watching, that's why it's all messed up.
Those of you that watched before. So yeah. So anyway, this is basically this is sort of their manual now of what they're promoting, cyber guidance for small businesses. So this is where they're getting into the instruction where they create the different roles for how the CEO is involved, how your tech people are involved, how your everybody's involved in handling the security. So here they just give you this outline, establish culture, security in the company. So they kind of create a plan for companies to follow. So it's pretty cool. If you're a new company and you're just getting up on the radar, I mean, you seem to do pretty well. You talked last time about how they actually reached out to you.
No,
So
this is really cool.
Did they send you this stuff?
No. Well, they said to go to the website. They sent me some other stuff. They were more interested in working with us.
Okay.
I got the impression it was extraordinarily rare that a company like ours showed up on their radar. The only reason we did is we had it was an edge server that it wasn't one of our servers. It was an edge server that was running a specialized program that was just a database of notes, basically. And that was running on Linux, and the Linux software had not been updated because the updates to the Linux software were not compatible with the current version of our software that we wrote. So it was like we were stuck. But it wasn't tied to our network, and there was no customer identifiable information on it. It was just basically a place where guys could get to their notes from out in the field about certain things.
Okay.
And we just turned it off because we were like, we don't really even need it. But it introduced us. It gave us a reason to form that first connection with CISA.
So my guess, I mean, this is really the main page that they want you to see.
Probably,
as
yeah.
a business, right? So they're outlining here, the role for you as the CEO to establish culture, security at the company, select the support security program manager. Did you do that?
Well, we do have a security manager. We also do have an IRP. You can look at it online right now if you want to, because our incident response plan is published publicly. Go to laughingrock.com. And actually, you know what? It's not. I'll do it and grade this out in post-production.
Okay.
Because I don't.
Well,
know.
here I can. Well, this is.
I don't know if I. No. I'll go right to it right now. So it's.
Well, you have to log in, right? So
No, I don't log in. It's fine. It's posted. It's publicly available. It's just on a hidden link.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with people seeing it, but I don't know. I'm being weird. So.
You're being secure.
Yeah.
Are you being a CISA?
I'm being a CISA. I'm a bit of a CISA. Wait, is this thing broken? Do we have a broken keyboard on this?
No,
Jimmy, you're all right.
It's a foot. You did it when you slid it over. It was working perfectly fine for me.
Your hinky foot situation is uncomfortably. I'm getting a mouse here, buddy. This is a mouse. I don't. Thank you. This is a train wreck.
See, he should have just let me do it. Does he think I can't work the keyboard or what? What's going on here?
No, it's.
How did I get demoted so fast?
It's not something we publicly share necessarily.
I see. So we don't want to announce what it is.
Yeah, I don't want to say it. I don't
I'm
want to verbalize it.
gonna have to like
Is
block
that-
out
is
this
that
whole
right?
section. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, that's the right one, right?
Yeah, yeah, but you put it in the front of the HTTPS.
Oh, gotcha.
because I think you didn't have a mouse.
Well, we could
Nope.
have.
What
if I would
the
have left the
hell did you
screen.
do?
Oh wow, this guy's
You
a
want,
mess.
would you like me to do it?
No, you know what? Let's
You know
just
what?
not-
Let's pass it.
No,
to
you're
Tyler.
fine. Start typing in laughingrock.com. It'll come up because I
We gotta get somebody in charge here that knows what they're doing because this guy, he's almost retired.
Right there. That's the link at the top, right below the like search thing.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Right?
Yeah, I think you were right. Yeah, there we go.
All right. Somewhere on there. All right. So and then incident response plan. So right there. And then if you click on
Okay, now
incident
I
response
don't
plan.
have it. Well, I took it off. Just
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
So there you go.
If you want
So
to back up.
That's our published incident response plan. So we share this stuff intentionally. We share a ton of stuff. We share our disaster recovery plan. We're very transparent on this stuff, and in a lot of ways, we do it because we want to give a framework to our customers, so they can take it and they can copy it, and they can use it for themselves. But it's also our way of publishing how we would handle your data if you didn't have your own incident response plan. But, for example, you can see in there, we've got incident definitions of what we consider an incident. We've got basic framework for how we would handle an incident, whether it be cybersecurity, physical unauthorized access, whatever. But we handle it basically in phases. Make sure that we're dealing with stuff. Go ahead and scroll down. And then, we kind of lay out just broad strokes. We don't get too crazy on this stuff. But, as you'll see on the scroll bar on the right, it's a pretty long plan.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so
gonna
we-
go forever.
Yeah, we don't screw around. So this stuff is really kind of the core of what we do from a cybersecurity standpoint is making sure that we have a plan in place. So if the worst case happens, there's a roadmap. There's a map to follow to deal with it. And for an incident, this is the map.
So what I thought was interesting when I was looking at these mock scenarios with CISA, I think it'd be pretty cool. Like maybe some of your larger organizations to set up you could actually set up a day where you go in and go through run a scenario, right?
That would be. Can we run a scenario right now? Did you pull up a link for that?
We can. Yeah, I'm only halfway through your list here. I'll probably abandon this project.
Oh, you don't have to go through the whole
Yeah,
thing.
don't
No.
go through this
The
one.
idea was to show that
Yeah.
there is a well-crafted, well-thought-out. Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. I think CISA would be proud.
But nobody wants to read an instant
Jen
response.
Jen would be very proud of you. I
Oh,
think. So,
I'm a big fan of Jen's.
Yeah,
so.
now it's a matter of finding the link. Where's the link at?
I don't know. You're the one who opened them all.
Do I have to take the
Holy
keyboard over
crap.
again, Jimmy?
I think it was this one. Yeah,
Okay,
you're rolling
this
the
is
CO.
one. I didn't recognize.
So
it
let's
'cause
do.
it's
I want to
a-
do. I want to do a scenario. Let's come on.
Okay,
Let's do it.
Find a
Okay,
scenario.
review and approve
Make it
incident
happen. I'm
response
excited.
plan.
Is it the tabletop
which you did?
exercise?
Participate in. So this is a tabletop exercise drill. That's what we're getting to.
Let's do it.
Support IT trader
Wait.
or IT tech.
Why aren't we doing it?
Rules. Well, we're getting there.
Oh,
we're
sorry.
getting there. You got to look at the rules.
Sorry, I get antsy. I don't know what's going on. I thought we were
Okay.
doing it.
All right. We're just going to scroll down. Where are they at? Okay. Additional resources.
Didn't you have to hit the tabletop at the top?
Shh, you're not running the board, Tyler.
Was it?
Yeah, you were like the tabletop. We're gonna get to the.
Well, we jumped out of it then. So
This is a
It's
new.
right there.
No, it's a new thing for the internet. You see how they underline it and change the color? That means it's a link. They just invented that like a week ago. All right. Here we go. We're in it. Okay. So cybersecurity scenario. So is this like a?
I guess this would be it here. Okay, here we go. So now we can pick the scenario. Here's a ransomware situation.
So like
Perfect.
like Putin steals your snack pack. Like is that one? Like what?
Third-party vendor.
Ransomware third party vendor.
I'll let you guys pick since you do tech.
I mean, ransomware is a good one, right? Healthcare
Or
and public.
vendor
I don't want to do
phishing.
healthcare.
Yeah.
Vendor phishing. Let's do vendor phishing CTEP situation. No, it's a manual. Do we under? Are they all manuals?
No, they're all manuals. Yeah. They're
Oh,
not
all right, so let's.
Well, it is
well,
a manual,
right.
but it walks you through the
Tyler
scenario.
picks. Tyler picks.
down one. Do the vendor phishing that you're by.
Vendor phishing.
Down. Yeah, right there.
Okay.
And then you just have to go to downloads at the top. Right.
Are they what are these PDFs?
Yeah, it looks like no, all the way to the right. Yep.
The arrow, the blue
The
arrow.
circle,
There you go.
yeah.
You got it. He's doing great. You're doing
You're gonna
good.
have
You're doing good.
Hey, thanks, man.
You got it, buddy.
I need.
All right, so let's pull that over and see what we got.
This is a little bit emotional for me here.
I mean, you did just
can
turn
u-
50, so did it all just turn off? Like,
Yeah, I can use all the.
I'm surprised he's not shaking his fist and yelling at the screen.
So,
Do
Just
you
telling
wanna-
the computer to get off his lawn.
should we make the mouse bigger for you so you can see it?
Let's get him. Can we get him one of those calculators?
it's definitely different looking at the monitor that's 5 feet away. That's definitely.
It is
something
that.
to
No, it's
adjust.
definitely. It's. But I have to make fun of you because you made fun of me for not being able to pull up my own website, which is a fair comment. If you hold down, I think it's Control and scroll the wheel, you can make that a little bit bigger.
Control and scroll.
That's the one that says CTRL.
There you go. Nice. All right, now scroll.
What
now
letters again?
Let go of. All right.
Alt?
All right.
Did you say
CISA,
alt?
CISA. I'm sorry. I don't.
All right, so basically, so you can just take this now and you can customize it for whatever
Okay.
whatever your company is, right? Put the exercise date, and then you can sort of fill in some of the blanks. So I don't know if you want to.
No. Get through with all this. This is all the
Yeah,
junk. This is the junk
all
stuff.
right,
Let's
so
get into the meat of it.
basically-
You go to like the modules.
Yeah.
Okay, it's here green.
What does TLP stand for?
I don't know, man. Do you want me to
That's.
refine
I think
it?
that was a.
That's why I was gonna.
No. Go down. I
No,
saw
it's-
it. I saw it. It's down. It's down.
Okay.
It's right in that first paragraph. TLP, traffic light protocol. Okay.
I think. Did they say amber? Isn't it yellow? Amber, green,
No,
red.
they always say amber in IT. I have no idea why.
Delete this qualifier. What is exercise? Okay.
I think they're a little
so-
sensitive about being called yella. You yella.
So I guess this, you
That's
can
just-
lay out the schedule for the day, right? Like, with all this, because you're filling this out because you're putting your team together, right? So you go to a murder
okay.
mystery, like a murder mystery dinner,
Yeah, of course.
right? Okay, so everybody's going to get the scenario.
Okay.
Right? So you're going to give everybody their sheets and stuff, and then
So does somebody get to be the hacker?
they can. I don't, not really, because you're problem solving, right? I'll come in and be the hacker.
I know, dude. I'm just messing.
I'll come in and be the
You said
bad
murder
guy.
mystery, so I was like,
Yeah. I'll be the bad guy for these parties.
The Ukrainian did it. It's always the Ukrainian. Come on.
All right, so this would be your forms that I guess you'd print out, and then general information. Then so you get down here, exercise hot wash evaluation. So module 1. So here now you go. It starts to walk you through what day 1.
So they're dealing with a spear phishing campaign that utilizes phishing with trust. Okay. Attackers attempt to compromise the third-party vendor, establish a foothold in the network, escalate privileges, and move laterally. So once established within the third-party vendor network, the attacker uses actual employee accounts and replies to existing email chains. Okay, so we literally just dealt with one of these like 2 weeks ago. It is a real threat too. This is a good one. So approximately 100 users across 4 different business units at one of your third-party vendors receive a spear phishing email containing a malicious PDF attachment. Okay. All right.
So
day
so
40.
this walks you through the timeline of things that are happening, I guess, like
Yeah.
approximately
This is
100
interesting.
users across, in day 10, what happened, day 40, 42. Now you start to get into your discussion. Now this is where you start to role play the event.
So this is good. So would your organization receive the alert mentioned above? I will tell you right now, most organizations we talk to on initial consultation would not, because they wouldn't have an alert
Right.
method. And then through what channels, and then what actions would you take? Interesting. What source of cybersecurity threat intelligence does your organization receive? Okay. How do employees report suspected phishing attempts? All right. I like that. So it gets you kind of think. Actually, I could see this being something we could use.
I think it could be really cool.
I do too. I think this
if you
is.
set this up for some of your larger companies and you went in and did this, it would be a good bonding exercise for the people at the organization.
Well, you're much more personal than we are. I'm thinking more like from a sales
I
standpoint.
was going to say it's a good prospecting tool here.
This is a good
Really?
analysis tool to go in
You couldn't
and.
have fun with this if you could convince one of your customers to do a mock
Oh,
day.
I guarantee you we could, but
You go in and you have pizza and it's like a cybersecurity day.
you know what would be cool?
Yeah.
We've been planning on doing lunch and learns.
Yeah,
This would be kind of neat for
this
that.
would be badass.
All right, I agree. You're right. This would be kind of neat for a lunch and learn.
And then, and you could really you could just deck it out. You could go, like you said, you could make it a murder mystery dinner.
Yeah, no, you're
of some
right.
sort.
Yeah, but
Have have a 2-hour day over it.
interesting.
You're not feeling me, are you, Tyler?
No, you just give us too much credit.
No, we don't do any of this.
No?
It's funny because we had one of our bigger clients called me the other day, and he was like, "How come I never ever get invited to any of your events?" And I said, "Oh, well, it's because we don't ever do any events." And he goes, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, none of my employees ever want to do events. I've tried to do them, and they don't. They don't show up. And I don't make them. Like, I'm not gonna make people. Like, I'm a big fan of.
You must not.
We're
know how
not-
to put on events.
We're not your family at work. Work is not your family. Like I don't like this. Like I have a lot of customers that are like, "We're your family." Like and I'm like, "No, we're not. I'm not your family. Like we're a bunch of awesome people that came together and respect each other because we all want to do awesome stuff together from approximately 8 a.m. to approximately 5 p.m. Right? And then you go home to your family. But that only works if you go home to your family. Like I'm a big fan of go home to your family. Like they're your rock. You got to take care of your family. Like you can't. Like it's important. I never understood these companies where it's like, well, Tuesday we're going to go to happy hour, and Thursday we're going to have cake until 6 p.m. And then Saturday everybody has to come with their families to our corporate retreat, and then Sunday you all need. I'm like, well, you're just stressing me out, and I'm not even invited.
You got to do a survival weekend at the Pennsylvania Grand Canyon.
I hire IT guys. Survival weekend is them eating gluten. Like, these are guys are not. They don't go outside. All right, one guy's clear. And he hasn't seen sun in 4 years. Right?
Sounds like you need a human resources.
No, I do not. No, we do great. We have a great team. Right? But these guys, this is not their thing. They want to play video games. That's what they want to do.
So you didn't set up a gaming?
Have you ever
No,
worked for- have
if
you
I
ever-
set up a Call of Duty night, they would be in.
that'd be
your big screen.
Yeah, but even then, they probably
At
wouldn't
your
be in
conference
because
room?
they want to go home and go online and play with their friends.
It would be Call of Duty. Who plays Call of Duty?
Well, that's true. I don't even know what games they play.
no,
Like,
that's because I'd be like, yeah, let's play it. And they're like,
Yeah, Cubert.
it would be me and you.
Like, I'm a Cubert guy.
And
Call me
maybe
up
Mo,
when-
like the old guys.
Call me up for the Cubert tournament.
Dude, Cubert was the best. How great would Cubert be with touchscreen too? Like that would be great on a tablet. They probably have that, don't they? They probably do. Like retro
you can,
Cubert
you
on a
can play
tablet.
Roller Coaster Tycoon on your phone now.
I've never played Roller
never
Coaster
played that?
Tycoon. No,
I saw it and it looked really cool, but I was like, I just don't want to play games.
Yeah,
I logged into it, started it, like,
Yeah.
Is it good though?
Well, you can play the classic version like you had on the computer back in the day.
Yeah.
And it's the same, which I would be like, this is awesome for 10 minutes. I'm like, all right, this is boring.
Yeah. I was a SimCity guy.
See, and I like that too. I'm trying to find one for the phone, but I haven't found it yet.
I find I don't like.
They're all like them pay to play ones. I hate that shit.
It's amazing how easy it just goes off topic. It's like somebody just dropped a bomb in there. Like,
No, that might be because our
It might have
topic
been the
sucks.
It might have been the Cubert thing.
Cubert's great. That's the problem.
Yeah,
Cubert's
see?
great. Even if you've never played Cubert, you won't understand. And it's probably terrible. Like I won't go back and play, but I still think my favorite analysis of life was comparing it to an Atari video game, and that life is like an Atari video game. It just gets faster and faster and harder until you eventually die. And I was like, yeah, that's
I was
that's
really
about
hoping-
right. It's basically asteroids.
You know, Atari was making a comeback. They made a new console with like 1,600 games or something. Like that.
Yeah,
Did it
I think
work? I
that was
saw
just
it.
one of them little TV boxes.
Yeah, it was like
Nintendo had
it was a
one too.
Raspberry Pi basically.
Yeah, they had a Raspberry
No,
Pi
I
with
saw it
ROMs
in
loaded.
the store. At
Yeah,
at
no.
GameStop.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
they,
that's what they were
They
using.
took all of their classic games, they loaded them into a single console, and then
And
they
you
just put a couple of it.
So it didn't work out well. You couldn't like
Yeah.
cast it onto the TV.
No, you can.
you would-
yeah, it had an
yeah.
HDMI port. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you-
could plug it into your TV.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like Atari. I'd like to get the Atari.
Nintendo had that too.
Yeah,
They
they had
did one
the,
too.
they did it on the SNES.
Yeah,
with the
Decathlon
blue button.
and some Pitfall.
but you could do that too with a Raspberry
Pitfall.
Pi,
I just made a
Okay.
pitfall joke this weekend.
Retro Pi. Just
Yeah.
install Retro
well,
Pi.
Raspberry Pi is a little small thing, though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's all this thing was too.
I have a retro Pi
Oh,
upstairs
really?
where
I
I
want to
put
play.
Atari.
I
on
want
it.
to play Pitfall on the TV.
No,
Yeah,
no,
you-
you
you
can
plug it
plug
into
Jump
your
over
TV.
the alligator pond.
He's missing. You plug the
You
Raspberry
can
Pi
do that
into your
with the
TV.
Raspberry Pi.
Yeah.
There's an HDMI out.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got HDMI on it. So
you
I have
can
one
use
upstairs.
PlayStation
I
controllers
built
and-
all the Atari games are on it, and Sega,
Okay.
and
Okay.
PlayStation 1.
Sega.
He's
sort of,
50
right?
now. It takes a little bit longer.
It's
I'm not
fine.
familiar with the Raspberry Pi. This is a little new to me.
No, you're fine.
We
You're
did a whole
fine.
episode on, man.
I know, but I didn't quite get it. I'm starting to. We only did like an hour, and you probably
You
talked
kids
10
and your
minutes
damn
about it.
technology.
You know what's funny? I pulled the engineering of a Raspberry Pi apart. It's basically just a graphics card.
That's all it is.
It's
yeah.
all it is.
nothing.
There's nothing going on there. So it's got less power than most graphics cards.
Mm-hmm.
But all right. So what else do we got in here? So scroll down. So what
Okay,
else? So we
so-
ask these questions. Does your organization provide basic cybersecurity and IT awareness training? Which that I don't know. So let me ask you this, Tyler. So you and I work in this industry.
Mm-hmm.
People hate cybersecurity awareness training.
Yeah.
Do they learn from it?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I think you have people who take it seriously and learn from it. I think it's kind of like any kind of training. Some people are going to respond to it, and other people think that they're not susceptible to it, so
Okay.
they're not going to bother with it.
So they think they're better than it.
You're right. They think there's
Okay.
no way I'm going to get caught, and this is so easy. And then you also have people who are just like, none of it makes sense.
And then I would say you also have people that are like, I'm never going to take a risk. I'll just send everything to IT.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
I agree with you. I don't think it really works, except if you give some. Unfortunately, I hate to say this, there has to be a carrot and there has to be a stick.
Well, and I've seen that, right? You have organizations where you have security training in place, and it's a requirement, and there's no, I don't want to say punishment, but there's no value, I guess, being driven.
Yeah, there's
from
no
the training.
incentive for
There's no
success.
incentive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've been a part of organizations where you had 3 strikes, and the 3rd strike was termination.
Oh
because you
yeah.
failed.
Have you heard about that? This is getting fairly common.
No.
You get 3 strikes with phishing training for a lot of larger organizations, and if you fail your phishing tests 3 times without taking the training courses and getting better and improving and everything else, you're canned.
Yeah.
Lose your job.
Well, you should.
I agree, but I'm a little surprised companies follow through with it because that's not a trend I thought things were heading towards, if that makes sense. Like it seemed like we were going to a different, like, you have to be understanding trend.
Mm-hmm.
But this has become, I think it's because the penalty is really,
Well,
the onus is
yeah.
on the company.
Yep. The onus is on it. It's the company's fault that there was a breach and they gave up your personal data. It's not necessarily that employees.
So you become a major liability.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't take it seriously and can't learn from it, then you have to go because you're a huge breach point.
We're understanding when it's not affecting like a mass amount of other people, but like we're understanding if you're stupid and can't manage your family affairs or your personal affairs, but if you can't manage a company affair, then it's a little more, and it's affecting.
Well, I want to be very
Like,
clear. Like as a boss, I'm not responsible for how you handle your family. Like that's
Well, in
way
general,
outside the purview of what I do.
It's
Yeah.
more of a societal.
It is,
You're,
but
but
I agree with
in
that.
society, we're tolerating a bunch of ignorance, right? But at the company level, when you've got customers that are impacted greatly, and
My
a lot
stance-
of times financially,
my stance is you learn to appreciate the lack of ignorance from places that appreciate a lack of ignorance. So if you run into enough jobs that demand that you not be an idiot, you will eventually realize there's benefits to not being an idiot. So there's a lot of positive to that. Conversely, I don't think anybody should be in anybody's personal life. Like, you can be a terrible father, and as long as you're not hurting your kids, like physically destroying them or doing terrible things at home. Some people just suck at being parents. I don't agree with it. I think you should want to be a great parent, but
You have the choice.
I don't think it's society's job to make you be a great parent. I think it's society's, I think that's where we've gone off the track. We stick our nose in other people's business.
Yeah, well, that's where I think the division falls. Like, and especially because most of these cybersecurity attacks are going to lead to like major breaches where people are affected financially.
Well, and that's the real thing, right?
Right.
Like,
so as soon as you're messing with people's finances, then we're serious.
well, it's not even
right?
finances. Like, we don't deal with finances as our company,
Or security,
but security,
national security,
personal information. Like, there's so much stuff that's all tied together now that you've got to close those gaps. So what else we got?
All right, so we got a module 2.
Module 2 goes into day
just moving
44,
in.
45, 46. So it's starting to tighten up. It's no longer big day ranges. Now we're into the issue, into the event.
Everything's
So-
known. Then discussion questions come about. So now you're.
So what is your organization's response priorities? Who would be notified at this point? Okay. Does someone in the organization monitor the dark web? Okay, got it. Good
All right,
questions.
module 3.
So now we're almost daily. Almost every day something's happening. Okay, so it's getting tighter and tighter. More.
Local national media picked up on the security researchers report.
Yep.
Publishes news. So this is like a big event.
So now
right?
PR is involved, and
Yeah.
now, media is involved. What actions would be taken when the exfiltration is discovered? Oh, so you lost data in this scenario. Okay, got it.
See this? This is like a large corporation.
Yeah, but that's okay because I think,
It doesn't even have to be a large corporation. This is just any kind of organization.
yeah, I mean, we've got mid-sized companies in our area that would definitely get picked up by the press if they got breached.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But
Well, think about it. You've
Doesn't
got,
any breach
Well-
have to be reported?
yes,
Like at least to
Within so much
agencies?
time.
within so much time.
Yeah.
There's a criterion here. It's like under 500 people.
Yes.
It's 60 days. Over 500 people.
It's like 30 days or something like that, or
it's
28 days or something.
It's actually, I think, maybe a little quicker. I can't remember
Is it?
exactly, but
I don't
well,
remember.
what is this? 28 days.
Most recent
They're
clean
saying
backup
backup
files are
files.
dated 28 days ago.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I think it's 500 is the threshold.
So now that we're getting into backups, clean backups, and all that other stuff, now we're into disaster recovery, which we also publish our disaster recovery plan. So I am a big fan of transparency. We get a lot of pushback on this because a lot of people will say, well, if you publish your plans, then the hackers know. And I'm like, yeah, but we're not saying exactly what we're going to do down to the minute. What we're saying is broad strokes. How are we going to deal with this from a logic-based, like A leads to B, leads to C, leads to D. And I think that's important to build confidence amongst your employees, your partners, and your customers, because otherwise they don't think you have a plan. And it also can't be secret society stuff. Now, specific stuff, we're definitely not saying what vendor we're using for backups. We're not saying where those backups are stored or how we encrypt them or any of that stuff. That would be the things that would legitimately help a hacker. But, I think you should be public about this stuff. You should be having these conversations. You should share it. I don't know. That's my opinion. But I'm a transparency guy, so.
Well, most people don't want to share it. They're like, do we have to let this out?
I don't know. I think most people don't have a plan,
Yeah.
in my experience, personally.
Maybe you need a CISA division.
We are a CISA division. That's why
Okay.
we're ranked number 1 on their priority list. It's because that's what we do.
All right, let's see. Appendix A, additional discussion questions. So, level of funding and resources devoted to. Let's see what goes on next.
Okay, so have you ever had an external review? How did your organization establish cybersecurity governance? So there's some good stuff in here. These are not, sometimes I worry about these because you feel like they're slanted or they're pushing you in a certain direction. This seems pretty even-handed.
Yeah, this seems just like a gap identifier.
Yes.
This seems like
That's exactly what it reads like. You're right.
It seems like it could really help the organization.
I agree.
Like if people, really get a handle on this, I think it would help.
Now here, I'm curious here. We're only halfway through the document. What the hell else is on this thing? Like, how big is this doc? Like, what is that? What we renumbered? What is that?
Okay, so
Oh, so detect. Oh, so it's going into. Okay, so go through the sections here. So a bunch of questions on
Okay, so-
detect, a bunch of questions on respond, What else we got? A bunch of questions on a lot of recover. Oh, okay, I got it. Training and enforcement, media, all that. Okay, I got it. And then you go into your appendixes. Not bad, CISA. Okay, I feel like I'm way too complimentary on this group, like I'm a shill, like I'm getting paid or something, but they seem to have their stuff together. What other categories did they have for these mock-ups?
So
if you flip back
what
over,
I really like to look at is I saw like for a shooting.
Yeah, so
Go back.
They're an infrastructure security as well, so they're going to have
nice.
response plans for school shootings and stuff.
All right, so go back over to the browser and let's pull that up. Let's see what the shooting baloney is all about. You can leave the screen shared.
Wow, I thought.
I think the shooting one was a little bit lower.
Yeah, it was like midway through the.
It's on a different page.
Is it? I thought it was.
So let me.
Go back,
cybersecurity.
Go to
just hit back.
infrastructure.
Just hit the back button. Yeah.
And then physical security
scenarios. Okay.
So this is where cybersecurity scenarios, we've got all that stuff covered. The physical scenarios is where we fall down a bit.
This is pretty sweet. This is pretty cool, though. I think it'd be. What happened there?
I hit it again. I don't think it took.
He hit home at the same time. He changed the screen.
Okay. Classic.
All right. Chemical sector active shooter.
I don't. Okay. Oh, shoot. Sorry, guys.
There's one where it's chemical sector, threat division, dams.
I just pick one.
There's actually some pretty cool. There's some pretty cool stuff.
Faith-based organization, huh?
Well, there's one where there's a shooting at a concert or something like that. Let me try to find it. Hazardous materials, high school active shooter. Should we do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see that one.
And we're here. I really think this is a pretty interesting. It seems like a business model.
I am not unimpressed.
Like you could take these things and go out and.
Yeah, somebody put a lot of work into these.
Yeah. I think this girl's pretty slick.
I don't think she did all of it herself.
I give her credit. She's the director. I just think.
Man, she's the best. She did all this.
I just think.
I mean, she must have been busy. It's just all on a Saturday.
Well, I mean, she's been in the military. She was in military
Superwoman.
intelligence. I think a lot of this is coming down from her.
There's definitely a
what she
military influence you can read in
I
this.
mean,
Exercise overview. High school active shooter tabletop exercise. Okay. Interesting.
So imagine taking this to schools, and
I imagine schools have access to this though too.
They do. I mean, I work very closely with a number of schools. Not
do they
this
do
particular document, but they do a lot of ALICE training. They do a lot of hardening, security hardening for schools and stuff like that. Now, what this would do, would be a great way for them to cross-reference their current plan
and make sure there's no gaps.
Yeah. Exactly. This would be a great thing to send out to your local school and say, hey, just a reference material here. Maybe this can help you guys isolate and find any, security gaps. In fact, if you wouldn't mind, when we're done with the show, send that to me. I'd like to review this in detail.
Operational quarter. All right. So here we go. Participant roles, responsibilities, players, observers, facilitators, moderators. Exercise structure. Module 1, pre-incident information sharing. Module 2, incident response.
Pop into the modules.
Short-term recovery.
See what they're saying.
Okay. Module 1, pre-incident information sharing. A few days before homecoming at your school. Students and staff arriving early. Help set up decorations. One student pulls a teacher. So I notify them that another student has posted disturbing messages on social media. Okay.
Interesting. Okay. What tools and our methods does your school or schools district have to collect information on possible threats? Okay.
Do students have a way to report? What tools? Does your school participate in school resource officer? What does your school do with information found? I gotta read. I gotta talk louder, right? When speaking with student parents.
Yeah, you're whispering.
Well, I was like, I'm like doing this. I'm like doing this.
I think the bottom line
myself
here,
out loud.
No, it's okay, and I don't want to interrupt your internal monologue because it's going pretty well. But I think this is pretty cool. So they're picking out specific incidents, like incident types, and going through what do you do in this. I don't know. Is that too niche? I mean, how many incidents do they have in there? It seems like we're on second one here. What was this one? So
This is the scenario.
So this was
the
identified
incident
individual with
response.
2 large duffel bags seen entering where classes are currently being kept. Okay, so scroll down. So that one, it's a high school shooting. Psycho comes in, 2 big duffel bags, starts shooting the place up. So let's keep going.
Discussion: what plans, policies, procedures? What does your school's active shooter training program?
Okay, so it's just going through how do you lock the building down, how do you notify law
Level of
enforcement, all that different
security,
stuff.
Given the proactive measures.
So what's the next scenario? Like what kind of scenario? I'm just curious.
Not the next scenario. Well, I got to go back if you want to look
No,
at
you're good.
different
You're good. Right here.
scenario
Within 15
update.
minutes of
Okay.
the original gunfire, local law enforcement officials arrive on scene. Oh, this is all one scenario. Gotcha.
Yeah.
It felt. I'm sorry. Okay.
Scenario update.
All right. So the guy posted online.
Yep.
Student got a little skittish. And then he showed up with a couple of duffel bags, started shooting the place up, and then now we're 15 minutes later.
Yeah,
All right. I'm following you.
Yep.
All right. So now how quickly can they arrive? So we had at our local school district, they got swatted. I don't know. Do you guys know what swatting is?
Yeah, a fake call to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it actually turned out, in my opinion, to be a net positive because it gave them a live fire drill on their incident response plan. And they did awesome. The police were there in 5 minutes in force. I mean, it was really impressive. So they really had it buttoned up. So, I mean, I know a lot of parents were scared, and I understand that, but from a purely analytical standpoint, it was fantastic to see how well all of the planning and all of this type of stuff.
I wonder how many schools have done something like this.
A lot of them do. I will tell you, once you get to a certain size, this is almost mandatory. Small schools, they might be flying a little fast and loose because they just don't have the budget or the personnel to put something like this together. And it's still important that they look at it, but big schools, they've all got this.
Usually, if any building has numbered doors, they have some
Colleges
sort of
and everything.
they have some sort of plan in place.
Yes.
Because that's shared with local law enforcement. Say, shooters at door 1.
I know my
corridor
kids have
1.
never said that they've done anything like this. Or do you think they involve the student?
No, they
So
don't.
this is
They'll
just
do
more of an
evacuation
administration.
drills, but this stuff is planning with the local law enforcement.
Administration.
Yeah, this is
Administration, enforcement, teachers
Yeah.
sometimes will be involved in the plan, but not always with the teachers either. And it's very compartmentalized. Like the teachers might be told, in the event that this announcement goes out, lock down your room, stay in your classroom. In the event that this announcement goes out, evacuate through the windows. In the event that this announcement goes out, escape to the gymnasium. Whatever.
Break the glass. Pull out your AK. Put it next to the fire extinguisher.
Maybe, I don't know. But the bottom line is that what the teachers, that's their part. But then the administrators, if this announcement goes out, contact the local resource officer. If this announcement goes out, contact the local law enforcement directly. If this announcement goes out, broadcast over the loudspeakers into the fields and everything. This, whatever. So different scenarios for different things, and everybody knows their part. But you don't get to field test it that often because it's going to scare the pants off of teachers and parents. Mm-hmm. So
I think a school should have. We need a drone that has shoots a taser, right? So when something like this happens, somewhere in the administrative office they have a drone. They can fly through the halls.
it's funny that you say that.
And tase
3 years ago, some of the kids, I'm a state STEM judge.
I didn't know that.
Oh, all right. Well, for the PA State Governor's Cup and for the U.S. Naval Academy, I'm a STEM judge. And the Governor's Cup for the state of Pennsylvania competition.
That's
And,
for the tech. Or
No, I do it.
I do remember you saying something about this.
I do it for high school kids, so the high school competition,
Okay.
and it's college for
Right.
the U.S. Naval Academy is collegiate. No, it's still high school, but the college runs it. The academy down in Annapolis. Anyway,
And what's STEM? So people.
science, technology,
So-
engineering, and math. So it's a
Yeah.
focus in education on things that are not liberal arts. Basically, it's getting for those of us that are very analytically minded. It is a focus on those talents: science, technology, engineering, math, STEM. And I judge these competitions for the state of Pennsylvania and for the U.S. Navy. And 3 or 4 years ago, a team from, I'm not going to name the school because I don't know if I can, invented a drone that is armed with pepper spray.
There you go.
Same thing. It wasn't a taser, it was pepper spray. But yeah, and they live fired it on a dummy. They flew down a hall went up to a dummy and sprayed it right in the face, and it worked reasonably well.
That's awesome.
It was kind of cool.
Every school should have
Yeah.
one pepper spray drone.
I mean, now you got to get to the guy in 15 minutes because the batteries aren't great.
Yeah, I was gonna say battery. Don't last very long.
But
Crying out loud, if it's in the school with pepper spray, and you got
you would be amazed how often it is hard to find where the shooter is. Like, that's the number one problem, I would say, once these things happen,
Really?
is communication, because
It's chaos, man.
it's chaos.
Complete chaos.
You've got thousands of people in a building that are terrified.
You can't necessarily follow the report because you got echoes down halls and stuff like that.
Yep. Yeah, it's
sorts of
that's
stuff.
probably the hardest part, is to find out where and when and what is
the
going
drone
on.
has to be able to pick up the.
You need a drone in every hallway with cameras.
Just hook them up to an AI, and just whenever
Yeah.
something goes down, they just
Zing,
all
zing, zing.
simultaneously
It
release.
just
and-
runs.
Yeah, but then that goes
spray
AWR,
everybody.
and then
Pattern.
kids in the hall when they're not supposed to be, and then it gave pepper spray.
Well,
I
you
had a
know,
bathroom pass.
that kid
Yeah,
learns a valuable
hey,
lesson. No, it's
you know.
basically like RoboCop. Okay, let's just get RoboCop and just release a bunch of, not RoboCop, the bad robot from RoboCop. Let's release that thing in schools.
Hey, you know what? Okay.
Didn't they
so
do a Family Guy on that? I think they did.
Getting pepper sprayed by accident is a lot better than somebody getting an active shooter. Not.
Have you been pepper sprayed?
Oh my God,
I
it's the
was in-
worst.
I was in the gas chamber.
Oh, you did? You have?
Yeah.
Holy moly! I was a mess for like 2 hours. You get pepper sprayed, it sucks.
I was in the first time when I was in basic, I got stabbed and I had a punctured lung. I don't know if you know that.
No, what happened?
Yeah. Well, I moved down. I went back up to Lebanon after I lived in Lebanon. I moved up here and I went back up to CISA.
Oh, yeah, you told me this story. I know where you're
Just
at.
hanging
Okay.
out, and one of my friends just did something stupid, messing around. I don't think it was like I was trying to get murdered, but
I thought you meant in basic you got stabbed again.
no.
I knew about your friend. Okay.
So basically, in the gas chamber, they're like, "Did anybody ever have a punctured lung?" Or when we were in training, they're like, "It was gas chamber day," and the drill sergeants are like, "If anybody ever had punctured lung, anything like that, raise your hand." And I was like, "I didn't raise my hand. I'm not raising my hand. They're gonna drill me if I raise my hand." Like, so I didn't raise my hand, and then after training was over, I went up to them and I told them. Then of course they yelled at me for raising my hand. Then they put me on door watch. So of course instead of locking the door, they made me hold it shut. Right. So everybody that was in the gas chamber, I had to hold the. Everybody was trying to get out. They couldn't
Oh my
see.
God!
So now I'm holding the door shut, and then when
Like a Nazi.
they
Jeez.
would, they would let me know when I could open it, and then I would open it, and everybody would just come out, and the drool
Oh yeah.
that is coming out of their mouth, it's like they're just, I don't know what the word is, but the extrication
Oh.
just falling out their mouth.
You mean the leaky goo? I think that's the word, leaky goo.
I mean, and it was like down to their knees, and it wouldn't break.
Yeah, I know.
Right? Like it was crazy.
When did you get sprayed?
Many years ago, but I've also been tased.
See, I've never been tased. Are we gonna do that in the show? I'll take a tase.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to.
I definitely don't want to, but I'll do it.
Does it hurt?
It's a very interesting. You have no control over your body.
I'm not gonna pee myself.
Pee
am I?
yourself?
Yeah,
No, because
good
it
question.
tightens everything up. Like arms shoot out, neck braces. You scream.
Will I never pee again?
Scream?
Mm-hmm. Most people do. I was one of the first people to not scream.
Oh!
No, like you have no control. Literally, like it's interesting. And I was only tased for 1 second. Cops usually deploy it for 5.
Nice.
Well, needless to say, when I got to my duty station, we did the gas chamber den, and I was like, I'm going in. So I got to experience it at the duty station.
Wait, did he tell us why he got? No, he just said it was a long time ago.
I volunteered.
You
I
volunteered.
to be tased. Yeah, no, it wasn't like I was running from the cops.
I was hoping.
Does it hurt for a while afterwards?
Huh?
Like, do you, like?
I don't remember it hurting. I just remember the sense of, like, I was in a martial arts class when I was in martial arts, and we had a chief of police and there was a conversation going to the class before, like, I've seen videos of people being tased and not falling susceptible to it. He's like, there's no way. Like, if it's done right, there's no way. So he was like, I'll bring my taser next time if you guys sign a waiver. So one kid got shot with the taser because he was going to the police academy and wanted to see it. And then I was part of the demonstration of, like, if you're in a group and you're linked arms with somebody, how they can shoot one end of the
guy
group.
on the end gets
Yeah,
nailed.
they can shoot the people in the end and it'll go through everybody.
So awesome. It's so
Which is
awesome.
exactly what happened.
I thought
we
it would
didn't get
just end
shot.
up nailing the last
No,
person.
it was to show how
Hits
like,
everyone?
We got alligator clips, so they just clipped it to our shirts. One end, and then it went through everybody.
Great.
Do you fall down?
We sat down. Yeah, so you do. You'll fall over. But he had us sitting down because there was two of us.
Yeah.
And we didn't have enough people to catch us.
That's awesome.
But yeah.
Sounds fun.
I'd do it in a heartbeat.
We were going to do we were going to play a game one time and put the dog shot collar. Whoever lost had to put the dog shot collar on and run around the pool. But I was like, no, because whoever goes first, no one else is going to. Then we talked about, well, let's just do it. You go first. Who's going to go first? No, because no one else will go once one person does it. So
It's a dog shot collar. It's not that bad.
it can
They
possibly
can be pretty bad.
Nah, piece of cake. Let's do it.
Right.
We'll do it on the show.
Like, could it affect your heart? Right? A taser can, if you're
Yeah, that's why I had to sign a waiver.
I say we get 3 dog shot collars. We all put one on, and we shuffle the remotes. and then like,
And, okay,
and then you can,
Yeah.
if you get to pick, and you
then
might zap yourself. You don't know what remote it is.
and then you
don't
just
know.
hold it as long as you can hold, like whoever gives up.
No,
loses.
no, we're not trying to kill somebody. Like you give them a little zap, and you get a little woo, and then you move on. All right, we're way over time here, and so, I don't even know what the hell we're talking about anymore. But we're definitely going to get collars and tasers. That'll be great.
Sounds good.
Why not? Jeez, all right. Thank you, everybody. Jimmy, is there anything else we want to talk about here? I like these scenarios. I'm going to download a couple of these, actually, and review them, because I think they're actually pretty good. I've seen a lot of trash in this industry. This is not trash.
Yeah.
Final thoughts?
I like it, man. I actually think it's a great organization.
I
don't know. Hopefully, Endgame is not, where there's some evil plan.
No,
they have the other alphabet soup for that stuff.
Exactly.
I feel pretty good about it at this point. To
No,
be quite honest, and I really like. I like the director. I watched a bunch of her videos. A lot of information about her. She just seems like a pretty legit person. So
Well played.
as much as you can learn about somebody on YouTube.
No, I hear you. It's tough, but I definitely, I respect what you're saying. Any final thoughts for you?
Nothing.
Me either. So, yeah, CISA. I think we got a winner. So, thank you, everybody. Do your own research. Don't ever listen to us. We're a bunch of idiots. But CISA, Cybersecurity Division of the Homeland Security, and yeah, Jimmy's sweet on their director. So, look them up, see what you think. Download these scenarios if you own a business. I think they definitely seem to have some real value. And, yeah, good luck. Stay safe out there. Protect your businesses. See you next week. Thanks, everybody.
Later.
The Broken Agenda Podcast. Sponsored by Laughing Rock Technology.